everybody, this is Emma Flynn, psychologist here. It's Monday afternoon going into evening here in Newcastle, Australia, and I thought I would hop on, having had some face-to-face meetings today or sessions with clients, and just noticing how valuable it is that somebody can understand something in the context, I should say, of a framework that's already out there. And none more relevant than what I've come across that's actually gathering momentum on the internet is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And how really, I guess, my ultimate goal today is to share with you how that relates to the coronavirus and our stress reactions and our reprioritizations of needs at the moment. For those of you that aren't familiar with Maslow's needs, and for those of you that are, I'm just going to put up a bit of a visual. So I tapped into my inner child today and drew that out. So if you look at the 5 needs according to Maslow, if we look at the most basic needs, so they would be physiological, followed by safety, love and belonging, esteem, and self-actualization. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at those individually with you and then look at how that relates to the coronavirus and some of the stress reactions and reprioritization of needs that we may be experiencing. If we look at physiological, well, what is physiological? Basically, it's our biological needs. So things like water, food, air, shelter. As I said, the fourth from the bottom would be safety. So these are things like the need to feel emotionally safe from any harm and any genuine threats. If we look at third from the top, that would be love and belonging. So that's that need to just feel fully and unconditionally supported by somebody. Support is really important, so really key. And so to support and love one another. So that's bi-directional in most healthy relationships. From there, we look at esteem. So that's that need to genuinely appreciate and respect oneself. And lastly, the most highest need that will take us time to reach would be self-actualization. So that's the need to become the best version, really, of ourselves, and for us to reach our full potential. Everybody's full potential will be different, and there's many variables, and we could probably do a session on that itself. But some examples of reaching that might be with myself. Identifying and finding a career that I was really interested in and wanting to help clients, and being able to share my own lived experiences with that, and noticing, I guess, the outcomes that clients achieve with that. Or for some people that might mean through becoming a teacher or a doctor, anything. And it's not always career dependent. For example, it could be something more creative, something more art focused, or being some type of artist. The list is really endless, but I've just given examples through career. Now you're probably wondering, how does this relate to the coronavirus? Well, if I bring you back to the actual inner child picture that I drew, if we look at that, so with all of those needs, we tend to reach different needs. So we might have different life stages where we'll reset and work through those again, or that might be timeline based. If we look at where we were to when we were younger, we would most likely have been here, and then as we get older, we want to work through having and experiencing those needs. So with, I guess, the coronavirus, what's happening is those needs are being reprioritized, and that's where we're going to experience different reactions because of that. So just popping over here because my battery was getting low. So basically those 2 bottom needs are probably where most of us will hover at the moment. So we will be trying very hard to focus on having our physiological and safety needs met. And that is completely normal. I want to reassure people again, that's completely normal. So in line with normal stress reactions to crisis situations, that is normal. So if we look at the physiological needs, again, reminding you what that actually means. So again, our basic needs of water, food, shelter, and those sort of things. How that might be relating at the moment is that we see it really panning out worldwide in retail stores, supermarkets. So people are panicking that those basic needs aren't met, because if that basic need for food and water isn't met, how can we survive? So that's where I guess some of those fears are coming in, and we're probably noticing, not probably, we definitely are noticing some of the behaviours that we're seeing from people where people are going out and panic buying. And again, making sense with food, and indeed, if you're familiar with the toilet roll panic buying that's happening here in Australia, I understand it's also happening in the UK. Again, all feeling into what are our basic needs. Safety. So again, think about that. We all have a desire at the moment to feel safe. And how we want to achieve that is through physical and emotional safety. So again, the importance of feeling that we're emotionally connected. If we can't do that face to face, being mindful of other avenues that we can do that, and reach out for those. So whether that's phone, video linking, WhatsApp, FaceTime, and also in terms of that physical, so the physical safety that we need to feel at the moment, if we look at that in the context of physical distancing, at the moment we have guidelines of around 1.5 to 3 metres at least, socially distancing from one another, among other guidelines around that as well, which adds to our sense of safety. I hope that you have liked this video today, and as I said, I am a big believer in how we present material and how we achieve understanding and insight with clients, and I have found that that has been particularly helpful so far, and it might be something that you consider with your own clients, or even reminding yourself or emphasising that for your own personal use, is that right now where we're at the moment is we're going to end up focusing on our physiological and safety needs, and that is completely fine and normal. What I wanted to also do is just briefly mention that most of what I've talked about today, I have actually researched Psychology Today online. I wanted to just shout out to Glenn Gear, and I hope I've said your surname right, just to make reference to that source. And I wish you all well for the coming weeks ahead. And remember to give yourself focus. This is what we need to be doing. We need to be prioritising our physiological and safety needs. Take care.